I am not buying the SpaceX IPO yet. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Spencer, and I talk all about investing primarily with ETFs. Now, SpaceX has been a massive talking point for anyone in the finance stock market investing niche, and for great reason. This thing maxed out. It is the largest IPO that we have ever had, and the price has soared 25% on its opening day. The market cap is 2.2 trillion at the time of filming this video, which is absolutely insane. Now, SpaceX, of course, because of the popularity of Tesla and Elon Musk, everyone assumes this company will be a game changer, and I couldn't agree more. So why am I not buying it? Well, I'm just not buying it yet. Let's look at the price, and I'll break down exactly what my buy points are and what I'm waiting for with this new IPO. But first, if you guys are interested in investing in ETFs, in making money in the stock market, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit that hype button to help out the channel. Now let's check out SpaceX IPO. The IPO started at $135 per share, soared all the way up to a max of $176 for an impressive 26% gain, but has since pulled back 9.5%. It sits at $159 at the time of filming. Now, SpaceX and IPOs, they're two different categories, right? We have more and more IPOs happening as these companies stay private for longer. So the IPO game is changing. I think we're going to see another one with Anthropic here pretty soon, but only time will tell. Now, IPOs are normally very volatile, and you could say this is also volatile. It ran 25%, pulled back. It's still an impressive result, I will say, but why didn't I buy this at the beginning? Well, because I don't know what the volatility will do in the first couple of weeks. When this thing is pushed into the NASDAQ as well, it could also impact that volatility. But there is a key point here that I want to make. I will be investing in SpaceX. Whether I want to or not, it will become a holding in many of my ETFs, growth and income. So I will be investing in it, and I may even start a position in SpaceX, a little bit of money here and there, for the reasons that are going to be following in this video. Because in this video, we are going to break down the Magnificent Seven and how much money you would have if you invested $100 in each of their IPOs. And these numbers will probably shock you, with the worst performer still being very, very impressive in results. So I hope you guys do enjoy. And I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't buy the SpaceX IPO. I'm talking about what I am doing. This video is not financial advice. So now let's check out some data. Now, a quick shout out to the Circle Group. We've been talking about the SpaceX IPO for a long time and all the different ETFs that are launching on the SpaceX IPO. If you guys are interested in joining it's a paid group. It is not for everybody. It is for serious investors only looking to grow their knowledge on income investing and growth investing, all through the power of ETFs. Check it out, and you can use my free trial. You get a full week for free down below. There's going to be a ton of giveaways as well. So check it out and let me know what you think. And now we'll get back into the video. Starting off with Apple stock. Now, if you had invested $100 in Apple stock in 1980 when it IPO'd, it would now be worth over $300,000. Now, I pulled all of this data using Claude, the AI tool, and it's absolutely insane because Claude actually factored in all of the stock splits, which is difficult to see if you're just using a normal charting tool. So your $100, excuse me, not 100,000, would be worth $302,571. A total return of 3,000x, not 3,000%. It's 300,000%, and you would have to hold it for 46 years. So you may ask yourself, why don't I just throw all my money into IPOs and wait for this to happen? The Mag 7 are a specific group of very, very successful stocks. You will have a lot of stocks that will flop, that will make a little bit of money, that will lose a ton of money. You never truly know how these companies will do at the IPO date. So December 12, 1980, no one really knew what was going to be happening with Apple. The original IPO price was $22 a share, and then it had all those splits. So the split adjusted price with 5 stock splits would be 10 cents per share of Apple stock. And that 1,000 shares that you could get for that $100 would now, you can see the price today is $296 per share. So an absolutely insane result. And this is not even the best performer. But I have to reiterate, you have to understand that there is a lot of risk with these IPOs. And I do think SpaceX will do well. 10 years down the line, for sure. I can't guarantee. I imagine it will be much higher than it is today. But you have to stomach the volatility now, and you have to take on the risk. There's one more huge factor with the SpaceX IPO, but let's check out our next company. Now, this is one of the worst performers, but realistically, it's still a phenomenal return. We're looking at Meta Platforms, which is the most recent IPO out of any on the Magnificent Seven list. It IPO'd May 18th of 2012. The original IPO price was $38 a share, and it has not done any splits. So your $38 is what you paid for, and now it's currently worth $572 per share. So your original $100 investment would get you $1,507 in returns now. It's a 15x return on a 14-year hold, which is very, very impressive. Again, this is the worst performer on the list, and you're still getting a 1,400% return. That is something to take note of. But again, the risk I was mentioning earlier with these IPOs is, again, not only you don't know what's going to happen and the volatility that's there right now, but we have seen this IPO be phenomenally expensive. I mean, the second largest IPO is, I think, 36 billion, and this was over 1 trillion at the IPO price, which is absolutely nuts. There could be a lot of movement. No one truly knows what's going to happen with the market as a whole, but that's why you have to understand the risks with these IPOs. And not every IPO, like I stated earlier, is going to make money. Some of the Magnificent Seven definitely did, and SpaceX will become part of the Magnificent Seven. It is larger than a number of the other companies within the Mag 7, so that will be happening rapidly. So watch out. Your ETFs are going to be changing, and now we'll check out another phenomenal performer. Amazon, the company that absolutely everyone knows and 99% of people in the US use. This IPO'd May 15th of 1997. If you had invested $100 in this IPO at the time, it would now be worth $324,000. These are rough estimates. It's done 4 stock splits, and so the split adjusted price would be 7.5 cents per share. And currently it trades for $243 per share. You would have a 324,000% return. You have $300,000 from $100, a 29-year hold. And this is another very important point. A lot of these companies were not doing great when they IPO'd. They were still very highly volatile, highly risky, and these are just the ones that won. They made it, and thus investors also made it. You cannot expect a large portion of your portfolio to do this. And with the SpaceX IPO already being so large, you do miss out on a lot of the growth potential. But there is still growth potential, in my opinion. But Amazon, I imagine this one will only continue to go up. I do still hold my Amazon shares now, and I'm very, very happy with the results I've gotten in just the last couple of years. But you did have to hold it for nearly 3 decades. So day traders, swing traders, they missed out on this run. It's very, very interesting, the dynamics between how different people trade. I am also a swing trader. I like to swing trade Tesla primarily, but I'm not a day trader by any means. I'm a growth and income focused investor, and I like to do buy and hold with my stocks and ETFs. And long term, I think that will work out for me really, really well. So now we'll check out another very, very popular name that probably didn't do as well as you expected, Tesla. Now, you may look at a 35,000% return and go, this is nothing compared to the others, but Tesla did IPO more recently in the same way that Meta did in June of 2010, which was a decent time in the market. $17 per share. Everything was kind of bouncing back at this time, and your $100 investment would now be worth $35,466. There have been 2 stock splits, and so your adjusted price would be $1.13 per share. It now trades at over $400 per share, so you are getting that insane return, and in a much shorter amount of time. Now, the difference between something like Amazon and Tesla is, again, that time that Amazon had to grow. Tesla has only had 16 years compared to 29. If you let it run for another 13 years, I'm sure the results would be very, very impressive. But you have to understand the risks involved with that as well. It may not be. They're different sectors, they're different companies, so you can't base one company's return off the other and expect them to perform the same, because they simply won't. And Tesla has been known for being a lot more volatile. Still, a 355x return. That is not easy to do. That is nothing to scoff at. You have made $35,000 off of a $100 investment, and that's why so many people love these IPOs and why there is so much hype around them. So now we'll check out another really big name in the industry, one of the better performers, NVIDIA. With an IPO date of January 22, 1999, NVIDIA has been trading publicly for 27 years. Had you invested that $100 originally, you would now be sitting at $513,000. Let that sink in for a moment. You have $500,000 off of a $100 investment you held for 27 years. So NVIDIA has outpaced Amazon, of course, and we see a 513,000% return, a 5,131x return. It's hard to even say these numbers because the results are so insane. The split adjusted price, because it's done 6 stock splits, is 4 cents a share. It currently trades at 205, which is absolutely nuts. Now, I've never done a lot of content on IPO. So if you guys do like this, and if you want more from maybe the Anthropic IPO and a couple of other IPOs happening, let me know, because I'm happy to do that. It's so interesting seeing how these markets, how they perform, and how they're impacted by these larger companies IPOing. Now, I don't know what SpaceX will do to the broader market, if it's going to suck up liquidity, if we're all going to be holding way more of it than we ever intended, if it will have a crazy sell-off, but it's always fun tracking it. And that's why I make YouTube videos on this stuff, guys. Truly, I hold a lot of the Mag 7, so this is also really entertaining for me, seeing how well it's done over these, decades. Now, I do like to try and find smaller companies that I think will become Mag 7 potential, right? There are some that stand out, things like SoFi Bank and Robinhood, I think could do really well, but will they be Mag 7? I don't know. I do think there is potential, though, like I stated. So NVIDIA, absolutely insane. $12 a share IPO price 27 years ago, and your $100 is now worth $513,000. Google had their IPO in August 19th of 2004, and this one's a little bit more lackluster. Still a near 300x return, which is absolutely insane for a 22-year hold. You are up $28,000 on your $100 investment, which is absolutely nuts. 28,000%. Split adjusted, it has 2 stock splits, so you're getting in at $1.25 per share. And now it trades at $356 a share, which is absolutely nuts. And all of this, depending on when you're watching this video, is all based off the current prices. So things do change. Now, and a small change in price now probably won't have a huge impact on these, but it's so interesting how these IPOs take place. Now, that $100 return turning into $28,000 is pretty much unheard of. And if you're newer to investing, like I've seen a lot of new investors tracking the IPOs and thinking they can get rich quickly, this kind of just shows you it takes time. These companies have to grow. There's risks involved. You have to see how they perform in different markets, and you have to understand that the long-term goal is growing your portfolio and making more and more money in the stock market. It is not about bragging rights. It's not about quitting your job to day trade or swing trade, or because you made a 10x trade and now you think you can do it over and over and over again. Because I see that happen a lot on social media. Unfortunately, it's kind of the dark side to investing, and then you get into like the betting stuff, the gambling, and it's just nuts. But long-term, buy and hold, that is the best way. That is the way most people do get rich. And when I say it's the best way, it's factually backed. Most millionaires are made from their 401ks and their Roth IRAs growing and compounding over time. The greatest investor, this is a tangent, the greatest investor in the history of the world, Warren Buffett, wasn't even that good at picking single stocks, I should say, right? He looked at financials and set his metrics and went, but he invested for like 80, 90 years. Right? That's how he made so much money, not 90. He invested for a long time, and he made the most money after he turned, 60? That's when he really started compounding and went from a billionaire to a 100 billionaire. So remember that. Now, it's so interesting. I love Warren Buffett, obviously a huge fan. So Google, a little bit of a lackluster, but still a phenomenal performance. 28,000% return in 22 years. Is pretty record-breaking, but it's not even the best. Now we're going to look at the best, which is not the company I anticipated, Microsoft. Absolute insanity. 40-year hold. You see what I mean? Time in the market beats timing the market. Microsoft IPO'd in 1986 in March. Now $100 invested then. You guys know that a bunch of the secretaries at Microsoft got stock at like this level, right? They even got in earlier before the IPO, and they became millionaires because they simply worked at Microsoft. Luck plays a role in this as well. So $100 invested in the IPO would be now worth $775,000 for a 775,000% return. A 7,700x. 40-year hold. Original IPO price was $21. It split 9 times. And if you don't know, they do stock splits to lower the price of a share. Back then, it was more important because they didn't have fractional shares. So if your company was really expensive, like $300, $400, $1,000 per share, you would get less buyers because people didn't want to allocate that much of their capital, or simply, in a lot of cases, couldn't allocate that much. Now, that would get you to a split adjusted price of 5 cents per share, which 40 years ago was worth a lot more, right? 5 cents in comparison to what like $100 is worth today versus back then. They are different. $100 got you a lot farther back then. It wasn't just a small investment 4 decades ago, but it was an investment I would recommend. I mean, I imagine that they could make over time. Now, if you check these out, your 2,000 shares that you paid 5 cents each for, they're now worth $387.71. Yeah, the numbers don't lie. That original $21 per share price, I mean, it's just insane what the stock splits do and how growth and compounding make such a big difference. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Microsoft is the big winner, and our biggest loser was Meta, but it is the most recent versus the oldest. So this whole video, if you take one thing away from this video, understand that time in the market is what makes the best results. You have to have an underlying perform, of course, but with growth with the overall market, it's time. So remember that with your investing, with your strategies, and that's my goal for the SpaceX IPO and for future IPOs as well. Get in at a price that I like and hold it for a long time. Don't listen to everybody on social media. Understand your own premise and why you trade, and this video is not financial advice. Of course, guys, if you're interested, I was getting way too close to the camera. I was getting passionate. If you're interested, check out the Circle community. It is, again, a paid community down below for serious investors only. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hype this video. I hope to see you guys in the next one.